Hypercharge Unboxed was originally released in 2020 on Steam and on the Switch. A couple weeks ago, it finally got released on Xbox and will be released on PS5 by the end of 2024. Created by Digital Cybercherries, a small but passionate indie dev team, Hypercharge Unboxed is a success story. In the first few days after release on Xbox, it sold over 40,000 copies, but at $30, is this game worth it, or is it overhyped? We'll start with the positives before we get into the negatives, so sit back, relax, and let's get right into this. The first thing that struck me about this game is the environmental design. In Hypercharge Unboxed, you'll battle in familiar places like a bedroom, store shelves, kitchen, garage, arcade, garden, hallways, and other locations. The enemies you'll fight in the PvE mode include robots, spinning tops, toy soldiers with vehicles, drones, ninjas, aliens, and so much more. At the end of some levels, there are boss fights against large robots, cargo planes dropping paratroopers, helicopter gunships, and others. This game really triggers my imagination. It feels like I'm living out the battles I created as a kid when I played with action figures. The sense of scale here is incredible. The battles feel so big and epic while maintaining a childlike charm that just feels so comfy to play. There are tons of little nooks and crannies throughout the maps that make great flanking routes. Instead of climbing over the top of the bed here and exposing myself, I can sneak under the covers to poke out the other side. There are lots of little details and Easter eggs throughout the maps too. I was exploring the attic and free roam when I found this. This game looks amazing, and it's so impressive that it was made by such a small team. So how's the gameplay? Well, the gunplay feels great. The feedback from shooting the weapons makes them feel awesome. The flash, recoil, and sound design all work together to make the guns very satisfying to shoot. There's a wide variety of weapons, including machine guns, sniper rifles, energy weapons, a flamethrower, rocket launcher, grenade launcher, and more. There are also tons of attachments that you can put on your weapons, including sights and scopes for accuracy, stocks for better handling, bipods, flashlights, and even other weapons. Some guns are better for different situations, like using the shotgun to take out these spinners. The guns are fun to use, and there's some good variety here. The PvE campaign is a tower defense mode, where you have to defend these hypercores from attacking waves of enemy toys. In between waves, you'll have a couple minutes to build defenses and gather supplies around the map. These gold coins give you build credits which you can spend to build structures around the hypercores. You can build walls, goo traps, explosive devices, turrets, launch pads, and more. Like the weapons, different structures work better against different enemy types. For example, the goo traps are effective against spinners but won't stop a tank from shooting the hypercore. To unlock more structures, you'll have to earn various medals from completing campaign missions. If the hypercores don't take any health damage, you'll earn a platinum medal, but if you lose a core or two, you'll earn a silver or bronze medal. The early levels are fairly easy, but it gets pretty tough as you get later in the game. There are 4 difficulty options, the last of which can be unlocked as you play the game. The campaign is really engaging as a tower defense game, but there's more to it. There are so many side objectives in every level besides just defending the hypercores. Running around looking for all the gold coins and hidden collectibles is a great way to give you a tour of the amazing environments that we already discussed. You'll have to search in every nook and cranny to find them. It's really fun. Additionally, every level has unique objectives like breaking the mirror in the bathroom, setting off the fire alarm in this hallway, or turning off the computer in the bedroom. These side objectives keep the levels fun and engaging when you have some downtime from the fighting and building. There's also a free roam mode which you can use to play any level and gather collectibles stress-free. I like using this mode to explore levels before I attempt them in the campaign, so I can learn the layout of the maps and the locations of different resources. At this point, I want to take a second to show you this statement at the top of Digital Cybercherries' website. These are people that really care about gamers' experiences. They didn't have to put in the free roam mode, but they did because they want you to be able to collect everything and not miss out. Speaking of that, all the cosmetic customization items in Hypercharge Unboxed are unlocked simply by playing the game. When I saw this for the first time, it made me so hyped to work towards unlocking everything. The quality of life features don't end there though. Hypercharge Unboxed allows split screen play for up to 4 players in all game modes. How many games nowadays do that? There haven't been many games at all in the past decade that enable 4-player split screen, and this just makes it even more evident that Digital Cybercherries really do care about their players and building a community. You can even play all the multiplayer games offline, using bots to fill in for absent players. If you have friends at home to play with, Hypercharge Unboxed is a great game for couch co-op. Now let's talk about online multiplayer. It's really fun. The deathmatch modes are super chaotic, and there are 3 other game types available, including King of the Hill, Infection, and Capture the Battery. Whenever I hit a wall of difficulty in the campaign, I love hopping into PvP matches for some simple fun. When searching for a game, you can either use the matchmaking system, browse servers to find a game that suits you, or create your own server for others to join. In the pre-game lobby, you can check out everyone's armor and you can... If you make your own game, there are plenty of settings you can mess around with, like weapon spawns and items available on the map. The arenas you fight in are the same as the campaign levels, and some are more fun than others, but overall the multiplayer is a solid good time. Now let's talk about some of the negatives in Hypercharge Unboxed. The UI and menus can be a little wonky to navigate. Sometimes I'll think that I'm selecting one level, but it says I'm about to play another. The multiplayer servers can be hit or miss too. Sometimes I'll try to use matchmaking and it gives me an error code, so I go to the server browser and it still gives me an error code. It can sometimes be difficult to find matches because of these glitches, which is frustrating. Also, when I select Deathmatch, it shows me Deathmatch servers, but when I select King of the Hill or Infection, it also shows me Deathmatch servers. Gameplay-wise, I also noticed some jankiness with clambering onto surfaces. Sometimes you have to hit the jump just right to be able to climb on, which can be frustrating in hectic situations. Also, in multiplayer games, it really should spawn you with a flashlight. There were a few times where I spawned in a dark corner of a shelf and I couldn't see anything at all. I should not have to use my gun's muzzle flash to feel my way through the dark. The most annoying glitch was when I went to free roam to finish a couple objectives for level 2, but the game didn't count that I completed them. Speaking of the campaign, overall I really like it, but there are a few problems. The story in this game is very simple, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but the levels feel like a loosely connected set of experiences that can be enjoyed separately at no cost to the story. Every level begins with a comic book style introduction, which is really cool and very stylized, but if you're looking for a really engaging, complex, or deep story, this game is not it. If you play the campaign with AI teammates, they can be kinda dumb. They're occasionally helpful, they'll build stuff to protect hypercores, and they do an okay job of fighting off the enemies, but I noticed in this level Toy Palace that they struggle with prioritizing where to be. The enemies here were all attacking one core, and my teammates were nowhere to be found. In most of the early levels, that's not a big issue, but later in the game the difficulty ramps up, and you'll be wanting to find real people to play with. The problem is that online PvE is not as popular as the PvP, so you might have trouble finding people to play with. Additionally, some of the side objectives can be rather annoying to complete. Take this one in the garage, for example. I have to find a crashed UFO and destroy it with a flamethrower. Okay, here it is, I found it. Now, where to find a flamethrower? There isn't one on the map. To get a flamethrower, you have to go to this vending machine which drops randomized items in the hopes that you'll get one. I spent 20 minutes clicking over and over until I eventually gave up and moved on. I wish the game would let you choose what to buy from these machines instead of having it just be totally random. Or at least put a flamethrower on the map if you want me to use one. If there's another way to get the flamethrower here, someone please let me know. So do I recommend Hypercharge Unboxed? Well, it's a charming game that you can tell the developers really put their hearts into. The gameplay is overall very fun despite a little jankiness and some annoying glitches here and there. I absolutely loved the environmental design and art style, and there's plenty here to keep you occupied. I didn't mind spending $30, but I can see why some people think the price is a bit high, and that's a fair criticism. Ultimately, Hypercharge Unboxed is awesome, and you should at least put it on your wishlist, especially if you have a friend or two to play it with. If you can get it on sale, then absolutely don't miss out on this game. I hope that Digital Cyber Cherries continues to support it, fix the bugs, and add more content. In the meantime, I'll be kicking ass in the PvP and going for platinum medals on all the missions. Thank you so much for watching this far, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, subscribe to the channel for more fun gaming content. That's all for today, everyone. Peace out for now.